On May 15, 2022, a gunman opened fire at Geneva Presbyterian Church in the city of Laguna Woods, forever altering the fabric of that congregation, their families, and our community. It was approximately 1:30 p.m., and about 50 people had gathered in a banquet hall for what was anticipated to be a celebratory lunch when shots rang out.
Breaking right now at 11, it's happened again. Another mass shooting, this time in a house of worship in Orange County.
A lunch banquet at Geneva Presbyterian Church ended in gunfire after a man shot multiple people, killing one person and injuring 5 others.
Church members detained one person, and authorities have recovered a weapon.
Dispatcher Kelly Jensen fielded the call and calmly and professionally dispatched units and additional resources to the scene, relaying that multiple people reportedly had been shot. Deputies Ricardo Amesqua, Brianna Delgadillo, and Michael Rodriguez were first on scene. Although they did not know the status of the shooter or his exact whereabouts, they followed their training and immediately entered the church, moving to contact the shooter. When they arrived in the banquet hall, the deputies saw multiple churchgoers sitting on top of the suspected shooter, his legs bound with electrical cords. The deputies took the suspect into custody while additional personnel arrived on scene. They later learned that after the suspect opened fire, one of the attendees, Dr. John Chang, charged the shooter, knocking him to the ground. Tragically, Dr. Chang's heroic actions that day cost him his life.
Dr. Chang, 52 of Laguna Niguel, took heroic actions that day. In fact, I want to pause and just tell you that Dr. Chang is a hero in this incident.
Dr. Chang's interruption of the attack prompted other parishioners to take action, including Pastor Billy Chang, who hit the suspect with a chair, while others tied up the shooter and pinned him down until help arrived.
When he shoot about 7 or 8 again, I see our member, our congregation all hide under the table.
Pastor Chang was the guest of honor at Sunday's luncheon at Geneva Presbyterian. He had just returned home after spending 2 years in Taiwan during the pandemic. He was up on stage when he says someone opened fire.
Somebody had to take some action. I see his gun is down, so I see that's a good chance, so I run to him.
At 68 years young, this man of God picked up a chair.
I bring the chair to hit the gunman. I'm afraid he will pick up his gun to shoot again, so I use my whole strength.
He then asked the congregation to help. His wife put the gun in the refrigerator and others tied the gunman up.
I'm still young. I think I have the strength to fight with the shooter.
They say the doctor had brought his mother, a longtime member of the congregation.
For change very many. Because of Dr. Chen and his mother come to the church for me.
And although much was lost, Pastor Chang says so much was saved, and he's thankful that so many in this community are coming together in prayer.
I'm thankful because we stop the tragedy.
Their collective actions averted what could have been the worst mass shooting in Orange County's history. Shortly after the suspect was secure, deputies Christopher Brenniger, Aaron Cole, Howard Lacroix, Alex Santo, Elia Rodriguez, Jeff Wilson, and investigator Chris Iben arrived and immediately began providing life-saving measures to the wounded. Deputy Santo, a former combat life-saving instructor in the United States Army, took the lead on organizing and managing life-saving measures for the victims while providing medical care. 5 victims were taken to the local hospitals and ultimately made full recoveries.
Additional deputies arrived on scene and began conducting a safety sweep of the church. They found multiple doors sealed with superglue and the handles had been chained shut. Several bags containing additional ammunition, magazines, and 4 Molotov cocktail-like incendiary devices were found in the facility. The evidence collected at the scene pointed to a methodical plan to kill as many people as possible. If not for the swift actions to stop the threat and the effective medical care provided, there is no doubt more lives would have been lost.
As we honor the sheriff's personnel and community members who acted with courage that day, We also pay special tribute to Dr. John Chang. Throughout his life, Dr. Chang dedicated his time and talents to so many in Orange County. He was deeply rooted in his community, mentoring medical students, teaching Kung Fu, and volunteering as the Aliso Niguel football team's physician. On that tragic day, he died the way he lived, in service of others. Dr. Chang is remembered as a beloved father, husband, colleague, and friend. Today, he also will be memorialized as a hero.
Dr. Chang was a humble, genuine, and utmost giving man. Dr. Chang supported his community in so many ways, on so many different occasions, giving hours, precepting, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, conducting sports physicals annually at the local high schools and at the university. Dr. Chang did this because Dr. Chang strongly believed that giving back to your community is good for everyone.
When I learned what happened that day at the church, I heard that somebody got hurt, and of course I didn't know it was Dr. Chang. But when I found out, I was stunned. I was stunned, but I was not surprised. Dr. Chang was somebody who always wanted to step in when there was a need. And I don't think he thought for a minute about what it could do to him, his own safety. I think that it was pretty much a reaction from him to just step in and do whatever he could to stop what he knew was going to be a tremendous loss.
I miss Dr. Chang. When you work for 22 years, 5 days a week, 50 hours, sometimes 60 hours a week, just his presence. Because when he came in, he just had this energy about him that was just so positive, and he was just such a caring man.
As a friend of the Changs and of John and his children, I think that everybody should recognize that there will be an opportunity to step up and to help your friends, your neighbors, even people that you don't know. And I think that what John did in this instance is the best example of a person who will give of themselves and risk, in this case, everything to help others. And I hope that John's example carries through not just now, but in the future, as everyone remembers how much he gave everything. And we should all appreciate that and try in some way to follow his incredible example.
Dr. Chang's dedication to providing free physicals to over 400 students at Aliso Niguel High School was truly remarkable. His commitment to ensuring the health and safety of students was unmatched.
His legacy will continue to live on through the lives he touched and the memories that he left behind.
What he did on that day was the ultimate act of bravery, but to me, he was a hero way long before that. In all of the different acts of kindness and care that he demonstrated for the community, for his partners, for his staff, for his patients, Dr. Chang was a hero every day.